many of which are in this room. And I want to applaud the organizers for the speakers. The speakers that were here were terrific, ahead of Tom. And of course, wait till you hear Debbie Williamson. And Debbie is amazing. She's from Alabama, and I'm teaching her the difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius, which Lopes has never figured out in all the years that I've known him. But Tommy, we all know he's a great official, and he's done the NCAAs, and he's been to the Final Four. He was a Naismith Official of the Year, but that's not what made him great. What made him great is his character. Tommy as a person. He was an amazing educator. And when I got into basketball refereeing, my mentor said, you know, you need one thing, and everybody here should remember this. You need one thing amongst many things to make you a great official, and that's a mentor. And little did Tom know, but Hank Nichols, my boss in the NCAA, said to me, why don't you work with Tom Lopes and learn from Tom Lopes? He said, you've been given 2 ears and 1 mouth, use proportionately. And Tom never knew that, but I got to work a lot of games. We never knew that we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth. But I worked with Tom, and believe me, unknown to him, he was my mentor. And everybody in this room knows how important mentors is and how important role models are. I just want to say he was a great official. He's a greater person. He loves the game. He had passion, commitment, sacrifice. But his great achievement are all the people in the game of basketball that he has mentored and served as a role model. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce the Executive Director of IBO, Tom Lopes. Tommy?
Bruce, cut out those last 8 slides. I don't have time for them anymore. We're going to talk about how to be a great partner. And there's some certain things, I may introduce some new terms to you, but we'll see as we go along. Let's talk about anxiety. Anxiety disorders, like 40 million adults suffer from anxiety. Probably the percentage in this room is quite high as well. It costs us a lot of money. But have you ever had a partner that was unreliable? If you're not there at the time we're supposed to meet, 2 minutes later I'm gone. Because my anxiety level was high to begin with. So if I have to wait for you, my anxiety level goes up. So we want to be that person. So Peter, is that your car? I want to make sure I get to those games. I've got tons of stories of trying to make a game, snow, planes don't go off and all that kind of thing. You know how that anxiety level goes up. You're sweating in the car trying to get there. Constantly complains. You know, if I got my schedule, and I saw Peter Andos as my partner on 10 games, I'm quitting. So that's when you get your first anxiety, is when you get your schedule. And then you got to listen to this guy going, or this gal in the car. Wait, did I get that right? This guy or this gal in the car. And they say, I don't know, I only got 4 games, or I got all the terrible games, and I'm still working freshman ball, JV ball, I can't get to the varsity level. You need to take a look in the mirror. Refuse to have a pre-game conference. We took that picture up here. And we talked about this last night. Somebody said that, I forget who was that young lady official, was going out to California today to referee. She was talking with her mentor. Robin, that was with you. And that was, I said, I tell you, I had a slide for you. That's you trying to help that young lady. Yeah. You get the out of bounds, I'll take care of everything else. That poor signals. Some of you, when you go to the table and report fouls, look like that. Lack confidence. You got to show the cup. So, consistently rule outside your primary control. These are bad partners. was confrontational with players, fans, and coaches. We'll talk a little bit about that later. So if you answer yes to any one of these questions, you suffer from partner-induced anxiety. Studies show that 9 out of 10, somewhere during the basketball season, suffer from that. But there is a cure. That third one we used last night. So we don't want to use those, but there is a cure. Let's see if we can find it. So the 7 steps to success. I want to get serious. I doubt it. Why is it important? Because the higher the anxiety, the lower the chance of success. So we have that confidence. So, and then quite the opposite. Lower the anxiety, the higher the success chance. And somebody was talking about that perfect game. We're going to get there sometime. We talked about it last night. So here's the interpreter, the board psychiatrist, who's asking you people what your year is going to be like. So we picked some songs to see you choose from. Is this going to be you this season? Is this going to be what you're thinking about this season? So what is the theme song for your season? If it is, get the hell out. Get out. So if the thrill is gone, and you don't go into that game, every game, like it's the Final Four championship or the university level championship game. Every game should be treated that way. More than a feeling, take this job and shove it. Thriller, dazed and confused. Now looking out there, there's some. Sweet emotion, comfortably numb, and isn't one big rush? I hope it is. These things that we go through, these games, they're gifts. If you look at your life and all things, what do you look forward to? I know, how many people here are school teachers? A lot, okay, I was as well. Okay. Or was you watching that clock so you could get out of here at 2:30, 3 o'clock to get to your game? Sure you did. So the 7 steps to success, first one is have enthusiasm. We all have it. Look at this. Look at his faces around the room. They're really enthusiastic. You know this guy? Kenny, you sure this? Didn't you do this quote? Yeah. I thought you did. Nothing great is ever achieved without enthusiasm. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So here's the psychological test I'm going to give to you right now. Okay, it's not like when you stay up studying for your urine test. This is a little bit different. You will see the slide for 5 seconds. Ready? Go. All right, what did you see? Success is nowhere. Or success is now here. Which one is you? Which one do you espouse to? We can look and be a downer all the time, or you can look up and be positive. Is it half full or is it half empty? So the key is to having enthusiasm. Be grateful. Yeah, be grateful you got an assignment. Be proud, be reasonable, challenge yourself, be willing to evolve. Anybody tell me what evolve means? Change. Change. When you get finished with Mike McPhee's presentation this afternoon, your head's going to be spinning. But I got that new travel rule down. Step 1. Talking to Mike, who was I talking to? Pat Lang and someone else last night. This was the rule a long time ago. And then, like all good things, full circle, came back to haunt us. Okay, so be reliable before the game, on the commitments to your assigner. I got a game, I took that assignment, and then a better one comes along. Do I turn that one back and take that one? You know better. Communicate, game ready, show up on time. I'm going to go fast through a lot of these. Speak positively about fellow officials. Be enthusiastic about tonight's game. Just to give you an example, way back. You heard me tell you this one? I'm sure, because I use it all the time. I'm at a game. We're in the last couple of minutes. All the subs are in. Kid goes down the floor in a fast break, gets hammered, gets fouled. I don't know how to foul. Kid's laying on the floor, gets up and says to me, "Sir, Mr. Official, wasn't I fouled on that thing?" "You were." "Yeah, you were. You win it by 30 points. He said, "We got 1 minute left and my beer's getting warm in the car." He said, looked up to me and said, "I only get to play when we're 30 up or 30 down. And I brought my girlfriend here tonight and thought I could show off a little bit." Does that not say it all? So be enthusiastic about tonight's game. It's important to somebody. Engage in the pregame. Cultivate teamwork. Are you confident in your rulings? You know what ruling means? For those who don't know that word, it's calls, ruling. Have composure. Communicate effectively. We push and push and push about the proper signals. If we all do the same signals all the time, we all know what each of us are calling all the time. Master your PCA, primary. Very good. Primary coverage area. Help when needed. Deal with coaches and players professionally. We'll get to them a little bit later. And gain ego. Leave your ego at the door. Referee the game. So officiating priorities are know the rules, be true to your crew, and be true to yourself. And you'll have a successful game. Okay, be reliable after the game. Can you evaluate your performance and be honest with yourself? Hell no. Take responsibility for your performance. Be respectful of partner. Strive to improve for the next game. You know yourself. Nobody has to tell you when you miss a play. You know it. So think about it. And why did you miss it, and how can you make it better? Okay, so have empathy. Ability to understand and share the feelings of others. That's empathy, sympathy, feelings of pity and sorrow. Which one do you use with your partner? Hey, suppose you have a bad game. Who should you have empathy for? Your assigner? Tough job. Tough job. What is their goal? Debbie's doing her schedules back there, is to match people together you know will work together well. So we have some empathy for the assigner, for the athletic director, for the player, for the parents, maybe. Scorers and timers, custodians, partners, coaches. All those people that are involved in our game, whether on the rim or in the center. We need to have empathy for those people. We are not the be-all and end-all for everybody. Empathy for your partner. Now, look at the guy in the middle. Does he look like he wants to be there? Not bad. But the other two are, look at the enthusiasm of his partner. Ready to go. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to give it my best shot. Well, we love the referee. Most of us would referee for nothing, wouldn't we? Bull. You know that's a lie. Okay, now I want to show you a little clip from Jim Carrey. Now you know he's one of the greatest comedians around, right? This is not funny. This is serious at a commencement speech that he wrote. And so I want you to ask, what is the message he's sending here? Go!
I've often said that I wish people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion. How will you serve the world? What do they need that your talent can provide? That's all you have to figure out. As someone who's done what you're about to go and do, I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is.
That's it. It's beautifully said. You wouldn't expect it from Jim. Now, Bruce and I watched the whole thing, from beginning to end of his speech, and it was hilarious, except for here. That was the message he wanted to get through. What can we do for others? And we're talking about our brother and sister officials here. That's what we're talking about. Officiating on an island. We are not an island, not officiating on an island. It takes our partner to make a team to a well-officiated game. So the feedback we send to each other is important. Are your comments constructive or destructive? You can destroy another official, with the words that you use. What the hell were you thinking on that play? Instead of, how could we have handled that play better? What kind of player was Larry Bird? Pretty good? One of the best ever? Probably, okay. Let's take a look at a couple of plays. Was he a good partner? Look at those passes. That was his, his success was being a good partner all the time. That's what we're looking for in officiating. Can you find your Larry Bird in your association to work with you? Is there anything for coaches? How many think coaching is a difficult job? Hell yeah. What do we have that's better than the coaches have? When that buzzer goes off, we're done. When that buzzer goes off for the coach, he's got still a lot more work, or she's got a lot more work to take care of with all these youngsters that they're coaching. So there is some empathy for coaching. Take a look at those statements. This is kind of a difficult world for coaches with parents of today. Is there anything such as a tryout anymore for team? Not everybody makes a team. How are they going to learn to deal with things that have happened to them, negative things that happen to them in their lives? Nobody gets cut. Everybody plays. So those are the kind of things that parents have expectations of coaches. So I might get every game, get that kid enough shots, blah, 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 all the way down. Sad commentary. It's a very high maintenance era, we know that. Now I want you to look at Al Pacino. It's from that movie, what was that movie? Any Given Sunday. It's a Hollywood movie supporting football. What is the coach's message here?
When you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's just a game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing.
What was his message? We're a team. We say that back?
Life is a struggle.
Life is a struggle. Wow. You better believe it. Every day is a struggle. So do we expect coaches to challenge us? Of course. So we know that. So how do we deal with coaches? Expect the challenges. We're going to get them. Match their intensity with accountability. You need to be correct on your plays. Don't ever allow yourself to think a ruling is not important. How many times have you heard officials say, I'm not calling 3 seconds? chicken ass call. Chicken call, sorry. Now, did you think about it 3 seconds? Just think about it for a second. Is it a rule for a reason? Does it create an advantage or a disadvantage? Of course it does. And who's to make that judgment? You. You've got to create that level playing field all the time. So a 3-second call is important. I've got all short players, and they got a 6'11" guy. But I can box him into the lane with 2 or 3 of my players, crush it in, keep him in there for 3 seconds. I need that 3-second call. So that rule is in place for a reason. So make sure, don't allow yourself to think ruling is not important. Everyone is. They're there for a reason. And when you get your new rules today, you'll understand why. How do we respond to coach? Communication, etc., language, tone of voice, body language. Nothing worse than pointing at a coach. I'm talking to you. You know how that kind of thing is. There's lots of ways to do it. So one of the things I think the next slide is going to show is that we communicate better when the ball is dead and time is out. Now, I'm sure you have those situations and confrontations with coaches, and they come outside their box, not say their box, their huddle on the timeout, looking over at you. There are lots of ways to send communication back. How about this? How about this? Have I said anything? Have I provoked anything? No. You've avoided that confrontation. So there's lots of ways to handle that thing. Okay, most of the time when the clock is stopped, it's the best. Don't talk while the game is going on. I know what's going to happen. Because you're talking to the coach, the game is going on, and something does happen, and you missed it. So wait for the right time to do that. Don't delay the game. And don't be afraid to bring coaches together sometimes. Now, when you bring the coaches together sometimes, don't start off with, one of you are not going to like this. That puts you right in the hole. You can ignore statements like travel 3 seconds and 1. You got to call that. That must be. Those are statements. We don't answer statements. But you can respond to questions that are kind of valid, like, can you tell me what my player did? Yeah, in 20 words or less, so we can get the game moving. Why was that illegal? You know, when are you going to get the call? These are loaded questions that you have. What are you looking at? What game you watching? You know the fouls are 8-0. Hold on a second, coach. It'll be 8-7 in a minute. So, one of the things is to have effective responses. This is hard. This is hard. To get the correct response to kind of put the damper on the situation. So, most of us go to see games, and when you see your brother or sister official out there handle a situation and say something to the coach, and the coach starts to laugh. I want to know, as an up-and-coming official, what did you say to coach that alleviated that situation? And write it down on an index card and build a little file of what works for them, because it might not work for you. Hell, that guy doesn't like you no matter what you do. So you got to find out the kind of things that would work for you and your personality to deal with. I hear you. I'll keep an eye out for it. You've used all these. Let's go back to the basic, simple thing way back when you first became an official. When you're yelling back and forth at the coach. You coach and I'll ref. For a reaction, there's a reaction. What's the reaction? When are you going to start? Yeah, when are you going to start? Those things, they're important. So those things they got to work. Now, technical fouls in the States, we have a new signal this year for technical foul. Let's see, I need a coach. Peter, you're a coach. So, no, stay right there. I'm not going to let you get up. So, the new signal for technical fouls this year is you run up to the coach and go. Now, how fast do you think someone's going to punch you? There is a professional way to give a technical foul is, whoo, technical foul and go. Okay, now I'm going to the table. Has anybody in this room never called a technical foul? Anybody in this room call a technical foul without their blood pressure going up? It's a natural thing. Your blood pressure goes up. So they were under pressure. I just did that technical foul. I made a nice report to the table, and they turn around, and I don't know which way to go. What happens? Okay, where's my good partner? At the end, we're going to shoot the technical fouls, right? So when I turn, I know where he is, and I know I'm supposed to go that way. So that should help. You know I can't climb back up there. Okay, so a good partner has the game ready to go, ready to move, so it's a clear and smooth transition. Okay, know your buttons, know which ones that push your buttons, that'll be fine. I'm going to go right through here. The stimulus, choice, response. How do you respond to someone like that? I don't have an answer. I'm just laying it out there for you. Okay. I don't want that one. Okay. When the penalty is needed, signal in a calm manner, which I just did. It was very calm, wasn't it? No, not that one. Technical foul should not be an orgasmic experience. It is not the be-all and end-all of a situation. Now, I know the next is focus on the foul procedure. We went through that already. Okay, now, there is a technical foul spectrum. I want you to close your eyes. You don't have to do that, but close your eyes and think of the official in your group who is, and when you ride with him, can't wait to give a technical foul. Can't wait. In the pregame, I want to get that guy. Anybody moves on the benches, I want to get him. If anybody gives a disrespectful remark, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. What is that? You want to work with that guy? What does he look like? That's what he looks like. Go ahead, make my day. Do you want to work with that official? Well, you've got to be on guard the whole game. You can't referee the game. Now you've got the other side of the spectrum, or the other side, the other end. And that's the official who wouldn't give a technical foul. The coach came out and punched him in the face. Looks like that. Got his head in the sand. What's that stand there? I can't see it. Oh, ignorance is bliss. They never see anything, because if they see you argue with the coach, they're looking somewhere else. They don't want to be involved. So we want that person in the middle, who's that calm, effective communicator, who can keep a lid on the game. That's who we want. So we're getting into their behavior legal. Here's the thing for technical foul. These have not changed. You know, we have a whole new thing, and you don't do NFHS anymore, but we have a whole new thing now that we're allowed to give the coach a warning now. So that's a new rule change down in the States. So we stop the game when there's a dead ball, hopefully, and then we issue a warning, a behavior warning to the coach before we give a technical foul. Now, it doesn't mean that if there's egregious behavior, we can give a technical foul right away. So these are the kinds of things you look for. Attempt to influence an official's ruling, you can give a technical foul every 2 minutes. Profanity, objecting to ruling, inciting crowd, leaving the coach's box, depends on where you are. Okay, so what rules do you struggle to enforce? Here's a whole bunch of rules that we look at. And which ones do you find? Now, you don't have to answer it. Which ones do you find difficult? This is what the preseason is for, is to find a spin move. I guess now up here, Mike, everything is legal on the spin move now. So you can take that right off, because that spin move is out. Which rules give you the most trouble? You need to bone up on those things. You really do. Preseason, scrimmages, all those kinds of things, get to work on it. How do you practice making tough decisions? Charge block tough for you? If you know the rule, it becomes a lot easier. So be prepared for criticism. Where are you going to get how to handle criticism? Get comfortable by being uncomfortable. That's a Navy SEAL motto. So here we are with this control. You need to keep that circle ever widening so that you can handle everything that is involved with officiating. And that's just a kind of getting in within the circle so that you can be able to handle everything. Now, boys, here's the sources of criticism today. Facebook. I want you to know right now I'm a stockholder in Facebook. I made one good decision in my life, buying Facebook. I own 2 shares. $160 a year. You're going to get social media. I know that Jamie talked to you about rules and regulations as far as it pertains to you dealing with social media. If you use social media in the NCAA, you can get fired. Be careful what you put up there. We have fans. We have the media people covering the game who have no idea, coaches, and then the press. So you're going to get criticism. How many made the newspaper up here for something you did in the game? Nobody? Except I can expect that. Well, see, that doesn't happen. Well, congratulations. So be careful with these. Expect the criticism. It's going to come your way. Don't talk to the press. Don't put it on Facebook. And don't talk to the media. Let someone else do that for you. So how do we handle it? Wouldn't walk in your shoes, realize that 99% of those who criticize you, okay, would never walk in our shoes. That's actually backwards. Be physically and mentally prepared, work hard to stay on top of the play, perform to the best of your ability. How do you deal with fans? You know what an HCA2 is? That's a fan. Anyone that can afford the $2 to get in. Stay composed, never address fans. Don't address the fans directly. There's a way to throw out fans. When there's a timeout, you slide over to where the person in charge is, whether it's an athletic director or whoever the person is, and say, "Can I talk to you? See that young lady in the black sweatshirt? I want her thrown out of the game." See, I knew you could throw her out. And that's how you don't go over to her and say, "You out." Although officials have done that, they get the administrator at that game to have them out. That'll help. When do fans need to be ejected? Sexist comments, racist comments, derogatory comments directed at athletes, comments that could incite violence, use of profanity. How many in the room here have had to throw out a fan? It's sad, but we have to. It's the right thing to do for the game. And don't, and you can equate it to handling the coaches as well. Sometimes we have to really do that. But don't get involved in it. Figure out a way, dead ball, we can do that. So if you want to avoid criticism, first of all, quit refereeing. Say nothing, do nothing, become nothing. My friend Aristotle, we went to school together. So you got to be mentally tough. You are what you think. I love this slide. See the negative thoughts, criticism, self-doubt, all work on you. And what do they all do to you during the game? They distract you from doing a good job. So you got to think positive. Think positive. Self-talk. I don't know what we have. Okay. Now here we come at the end of the game. What's what the official here is saying. I hope I don't screw this game up. Guaranteed he will. If you think that way, you will. Let's keep up the great work for the next 129. That's a chance to huddle, right, when they're having no timeout. So let's think about that situation. We're at the last play of the game. Let's say we only have like 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left in the game. We're just coming out of a timeout. What do you think the coach's instruction were to the offensive team who's down 1? Down 1. What do you think he said? Anybody? Drive to the basket. Of course, he said, well, let's try this play, but if that doesn't work, let's drive to the basket and put the onus on who? Referee. Now, how many times have you heard, let the kids decide the game? Let the kids decide the game. Okay, so we are in this situation. We're all clear, right? Got a couple seconds left. Going to put the ball in play. Let's see, Paul, what do you want to be? Trail, center, or lead? Lead. Are you Paul? Want to be the center. He wants to be the center. He wants to be the hero. I got the next shot. I got the next shot. Ooh, it's going to be good. Yes, sir. It's going to basket. I'm with you. I'd rather be the trail. What does the trail do? Nothing. Got nothing to do. Sits on the outside, right? But if you're worth your soul, you want to be the lead because you want to say, bring it to me, I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever happens, bring it to me. And you know what? I'm going to let the kids decide the game. Because if he decides to foul, we'll call it. Or if there is no foul, I'm going to let it go. So Sip, I got you. You're the lead now. Okay? Play's coming. You're ready. And here it comes. Here it comes. Are we ready for the play? You got to be ready for that play. And you got to have that self-talk about, I'm ready for that play. Seriously. I'm ready for that play. Bring it to me. I'm going to handle it. That's when you know when you're worth your soul. So here's the self-talk. Most self-talk is negative. You've got to change it all to positive. That's why you get the big bucks. If you make a mistake, fix it. See the parentheses? If you can. If you can. I remember doing a game, we had the famous block charge, where we had large, where the large is, right? One official has a block, one official has a charge. So we had that situation. I was the lead, players coming to me, and my partner, I wanted to kill him, was a trail. The play was going away from him. Double whistle, got the two coaches together, and this is how we fixed it. Well, this is what we have, coaches. We have a foul here, and foul here, and we're going to put the ball play. One coach says, the coach, sounds good to me. We were absolutely wrong. Dead wrong. No one knew it, really, but we fixed it. Then try to forget it. Don't let it linger with you. And get ready for the next play. Mental toughness. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. African proverb. Makes a lot of sense though, doesn't it? Okay, so we're getting close to the end where we're going to be accountable. Remember my friend told you the guy I went to school with? He's back. We all what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. If you strive for excellence, it gets within your system and you get better and you get better and better. So, here's a loser's mindset and the excuses that a loser makes. It's a good old boy network. I can't get a game. I can't get those big games. So they won't release it. The system isn't fair. No kidding. Neither is life. Adjust. I don't get games because the assigner is not my brother-in-law. Excuses don't allow yourself to be a victim. You can work all around those things. It's not a stacked deck. You can argue with me all you want. I know you think it is sometimes, but it's not. It doesn't take talent to be in great shape, with or without that sports bra. So I was paying attention. As soon as he said that, my ears perked right up. Use proper signal. My pet peeve is the use of improper signal. It's easy. You guys watch the officials in the what's your football league there? CFL and the NFL. Are their signals sharp? You bet. Every one of them make the same signal. They're terrific. They look great. Why can't we? I know they only have 65 officials, but we have 18,000. So what? We can do it if everybody tries. Master the rules, master the manual, put an end to partner-induced anxiety. Have a great season. Any questions? Not one question. I have the answer. I don't know. Good enough. Good enough.
called and said that they're finished the expansion on the house with the trophy case.
How am I gonna get that out of play? It's not funny, but
Well, it's almost impossible to